Mm.
Motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round real quick.
That are in those training rooms with them know how good. Because it's a job real quick. But now we're gonna get I thought he was a con artist. Just based off the wood.
They're at edge.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room, December 17th, 2021. I'm your host, Chris Gonzalez. This is G.W.R., the voice of Indiana Independent Wrestling. Got a special guest with me here tonight. Saucy Josh Morris. How's it going, man?
Did you just say, "What's up, motherfuckers"?
Yes, I did.
Well, damn. I didn't know you were that in people's faces first thing into the episode.
Oh, man.
You gotta give them a palate cleanser before you go right into the motherfuckers.
That's how I start off every show. Right. Boom.
Well. The more you know.
You got a big weekend this weekend?
No, sir. I am off for the rest of 2021. The match with James Storm was the last match of the year.
A little bit of a vacation then.
Yeah, I did get slightly hurt in the match with James Storm, so I needed some time off anyway. I did suffer a concussion, but it's only because James Storm kicked my freaking head off.
Yeah,
as much as I don't like him, respect to him for kicking my face into my face.
Are you gonna get another shot at him at the next event?
No, sir. He is going one-on-one with Alex Van Zant of the Pretty People. And I want to say that's going to be a badass match for sure. So I won't be at the next event. I will be elsewhere. I'll be in Coloma, Michigan. However, I will be at the following event in February 12th. I will be there at MPG.
Do you have like a home promotion, or do you just travel around?
I usually am in the northern Indiana, somewhat the Detroit area.
Okay.
That I have a couple places I would possibly call my home, like HCW, G.W.R, which is in Coloma. That's where I'm going to be on the 8th.
HCW.
A lot of
is that in Mishawaka?
Yep, Mishawaka.
Okay.
I am the current HCW Saucy Weight Champion.
I think we might go
forever.
I think we might go do a show there here before too long. Chris Owens was talking to us about trying to get us up there.
Oh, Chris Owens, that's my man. That is my man. He and I together, we are the Alpha Sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're if the stars align, we've agreed to do a collab.
That's cool. How long have you been in the wrestling business?
I've been working in the wrestling business for 4 years, but only 1 year as Saucy Josh Morris. I've had other aliases, among others. I used to be a lifeguard. That was crap. And I used to be a cop. Not much as crap, but still. I don't know if you've heard of Officer Rod Street.
Yeah, I have heard that name before.
He's one of the people who trained me, along with Dan the Beast Severn. I was trained by him.
Where was you trained at? Was it up in Michigan?
Yep, Coldwater, Michigan, and no longer running wrestling school ran by Dan Severn called Price of Glory.
Okay. I got to see Dan Severn wrestle, like not pro wrestling, but like amateur wrestling. We was at a world championship tournament I took my son to in Michigan, and he was there. Mm-hmm. He was there wrestling in it. This was after he'd already fought in the UFC and all that. But it was pretty cool to see him out there doing that, and all the kids was around the mat.
Oh yeah, he always tried to get me to do MMA while I was doing there for pro wrestling, and I've had a few tangles with the Beast, and I've won none of them.
Oh, but not fucking.
Needless to say,
hands are huge.
But I have given him a fair share of hugs. I don't know if he'd admit that, but he and I have hugged it out. Dan, if you're listening, I owe you a hug.
He always seemed like he's a pretty good guy.
Oh, he's a teddy bear. He is a teddy bear. He can sit there and look all mean when you're in the octagon or in the mat or in the ring. But when on the outside, he's just good old Dan Severn. He wants to sit down and have a coffee.
Do you wrestle a lot here in Indiana?
Yes, I wrestle a lot in Indiana. I
Mostly
wrestle,
northern.
yeah, mostly northern. I'm making my way down. MPG. I've signed on for a number of shows in 2022. And I'm always open to more bookings elsewhere. A lot of my booking, I am filling up, but I have for the 2022 year. But I still do have some openings, and I'm always willing to travel because I like to get my name out there.
That's that's about the only way you can get your name out there, and then just by traveling and trying to get other in front of other people.
Exactly. I'm sharing everything I can.
What do you think the hardest thing about the independent wrestling scene is?
The hardest thing about the independent wrestling scene is honestly, it is nothing I have trouble with, but for other people, it's getting noticed. I don't know if you noticed, but I walk out there and everybody knows exactly who Josh Morris is and exactly what Josh Morris is about, and they remember me. Why? Because I have a hype man. I have a song that drills my name into your head over and over and over. I get noticed, but it is hard for a lot of people, and it was hard for me for a long time to get noticed. And I would probably say that's one of the hardest things in the professional wrestling industry, because it even in this day and age is very saturated with guys. A lot of people wanting that spot, and there can only be a handful of guys at the top, even in independent wrestling. So you always got to scratch and claw. And you got to make sure people remember you and remember what you did and how you did it and how it entertained them. That's what Josh Morris is all about.
We'll say you were the only one at that show. You were the only one that had your own guy there to sing your entrance song. Nobody else had that.
Oh, that happens at every Josh Morris appearance. So that's a staple. G.W.R. Dobson is his name. Check him out. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever music goes, it gets there. He has a collective named Quasar. They have a lot of dope music out, and he just brings out the best in me. I bring out the best in him, and he helps me out when I need it. And, there's nothing wrong with that. He's a good friend. He's got my back. He's my brother from another mother. So anybody who wants to sit there and say I cheat, I don't cheat. I just got backup. And you can't get mad at me for having backup. You should be mad at the other people for not having some sort of backup, because you never know what can happen in that ring. So I always make sure I have an insurance policy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If the ref don't see it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Those referees, luckily, they're pretty blind and pretty deaf. I don't know where they find them, but they really don't catch a lot. So, it's really not that hard.
I have a comment on here. It said, seen Josh last Sunday, and he was very entertaining.
Well, thank you. I was very entertained by myself, too. Speaking of referees, I want to point out it's debatable if that referee even counted to 3 in the end of my matchup. From my camera angle, it looked like a 2 count, and that's why I didn't kick out. I thought perhaps someone had gotten involved, so I was preserving my energy. All right. And because of the referee, I don't know if I can make this official on this podcast, but on February 12th, when I make my return to MPG, Jared Kripke, if you have the wherewithal and the balls to make it past Chase Stevens, I want another crack at the AIWF Midwest Heavyweight Championship. I feel I was a little robbed. Triple threats are a little chaotic, and that doesn't prove your pure strength, your pure core. And I want to see what you got, Kripke. We've wrestled elsewhere, but never for MPG. So I want to see in your so-called home, where you run the show, figuratively, you ain't got the sauce. You dig? So whoever's in charge of MPG, I would say that's a money match right there, and an OMG moment waiting to happen, because Josh Morris will become the new AIWF Midwest Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Hey, the referees was having a lot of trouble that night with some 2 counts and some 3 counts, and
they really need to enunciate the count. It is 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. I've put in some references. I know plenty of good referees, and I know those were new referees. However, you need a senior official.
I was say maybe next time you need to just bring your own referee.
You don't think I've already got that covered? Gonzo? Come on, Gonzo. You think Josh Morris hasn't thought of all the bases, all the covers? Come on.
Hey, what's the biggest promotion that Josh Morris has got to go wrestle on?
Josh Morris himself, honestly, one of the biggest matches Josh Morris has competed in was this past Sunday against James Storm. However, the biggest promotion, there's been a lot of them. Back when I was in the police department, I wrestled for War down in Lima, Ohio. There was a lot of people at that show. HCW can bring in a pretty good crowd, so I would say maybe they are the biggest promotion I've wrestled in front of. They have a big audience nationwide, so not only are they watching there at the show, they're watching on Twitch and they're watching on YouTube.
We're at HCW.
HCW.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. HCW. We're on the HCW Saucy Weight Champion. And then, I've wrestled for a handful, and I know, spoilers, on sometime in 2022, I will be wrestling for RCW, which are bringing a pretty good crowd themselves.
Where's RCW at?
I believe they're in South Bend, Indiana.
Okay, South Bend, Indiana. Okay. I'll have to go check. It's crazy how many different organizations there are.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how
just
many
the Midwest
organizations was in Indiana.
Oh, there's a lot. You gotta pick through the good and get to the good to get past the bad.
Yeah, we've been going down to Indianapolis and watching WCWO.
I went there when I was in the police department. Yet to be there as the saucy boy, but I'm always open. I'm always open to headed down to Indianapolis and checking out the Outlaws down there.
Maybe you can get here to Muncie for DCCW.
I bring it on. Bring it on. I don't know if I've seen anything from that promotion, but I would love to.
Who you said James Storm, one of the biggest matches you've had, like name wise?
Yeah, he has to be one up there in terms of people I've wrestled as this character. Josh Morris is just me, really. Like I don't want to even call it a character because I am Josh Morris, and Josh Morris is in here in case you forgot. And James Storm was definitely the biggest name thus far that I have wrestled in on a big stage in any sort of ring. So back in the day, I wrestled a tag team match against Abyss and Kevin Thorne. Okay. But other than that, I've been in a battle royal with the Godfather.
I've been cool,
but James Storm is definitely the biggest test for Josh Morris thus far. And unfortunately, I did not pass. One day I will, though. And that Cowboys hat is coming with me. I'm going to wear it home.
Well, you guys tore it down in the main event. That was a great, very entertaining match to watch.
I got James to get a little jiggy with it. He got very upset at first, and I have no idea why. I was being a friendly man, just trying to dance with him. And yeah, we were about to fight, but there's nothing wrong with a pre-match dance. So, but he got very upset, but Kripke was able to talk him into dancing. And then they turned it against me, which was not very nice. And I should have seen coming, but I didn't because I was lost in the moment.
When you when you were growing up, who was the guys that Josh Morris that you watched and might have molded your style off of?
Well, I don't know if anybody can really have the style of Josh Morris. Josh Morris is really, I've heard I have Jar Jar Binks offense. So I think Jar Jar Binks is in the Star Wars series? Don't know. Josh Morris isn't a nerd. Anyway, anybody in terms of the people who I grew up watching and loved, I loved watching Rey Mysterio, The Rock, Chris Jericho, all of those classics. But, for me, it wasn't necessarily in the ring. I never had a one person I'm like, this is my absolute favorite wrestler. I was always invested in the stories and invested in what was going on as opposed to who was going on, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, in terms of who I mold my style after, I've taken some things. I've taken the sporadic behavior, so to speak, from Enzo Amore in terms of how I'm just in your face and ready to go all the time. I guess you can say I've taken that from him, but that's also just me. So whether or not I'm a certified G, who knows?
So you said Hobson travels around with you to all the promotions?
Yes, Dobson comes with me. G.W.R. Dobson.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, everyone, as long as you get the first 3 letters of his name, then, QZR, not QRZ, nothing like that. It's QZR. It's short for Quasar. And a Quasar is a group of stars, and we're a group of stars, nothing less.
So we can find him on Spotify?
Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube at QZR Entertainment. All of his music is posted. And he is about to drop a brand new single next week. I can't give you any deets, but you can go ahead and check it out when it drops, and you won't be disappointed.
Where can we find Josh Morris at?
Oh, are you talking about the song, or you just talking about me in general?
You in general.
Well, right now I'm at my apartment, and I'm not going to tell you where my apartment is. However, in general, I am on all forms of social media. You can look me up at Josh Morris on Facebook, then Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok at Saucy Josh Morris. And I try to be as active as possible just to interact with my fans and tell you what I think about you. And what I think about most of you is that you need to take a shower and that you really need to stop messaging me weird stuff, okay? I'm aware that I'm in there. You don't have to tell me that my song is stuck in your head. I know it's stuck in your head. It's stuck in my head. It's stuck in everyone's head. And that's the point. Josh Morris isn't here. Duh.
I had a question and I lost it.
Gotta be quicker than that. How about I ask you a question, Gonzo? What was your favorite move that I pulled off? Did you like the big boy leg drop? See, you haven't seen a lot of my arsenal. I have a lot.
That's what I was going to
ask
you.
Arsenal.
That's what I was going to ask you. You see, you led me right back to it. On your YouTube channel. On your YouTube channel, do you have some of your matches posted on there?
Oh, I try to get all my matches recorded and posted up there. I got all my promos posted up there. I have a year-end review where I went through my entire year. It is a bit long. It's about 10 minutes, but you will not regret watching it. It's a review of my year, of how I've grown, the people I've faced, and the people's asses I've kicked. And it was capped off with this match with Jared Kripke and James Storm.
I'll have to go check that out so I can see some more of your work.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna definitely want to see the juicy drop pop section, which is what my finisher is. It is a devastating maneuver, and I yell out, "Juicy drop pop!" right before I throw them down on their shoulders and count the shoulders down for 3, maybe even 4.
So you said you won't be wrestling in Bloomington until February, but you don't got
correct.
You have nothing else this year till after the 1st of January.
Nope. I am, like I said, I got a concussion in the match with James Storm, so medically I am not clear to wrestle until the beginning of the year.
So
it's unfortunate.
What's Saucy Josh Morris going to do with all the free time?
Saucy Josh Morris is going to enjoy the holidays. Saucy Josh Morris is going to indulge in his favorite substance, if you know, you know. And Josh Morris is going to study my tapes. I am going to get better. And once I'm cleared to go, I'm going to start training again and keep on getting this saucy train running.
When you started training in wrestling, what was the hardest thing to learn when you started with the training school?
Chain wrestling. Chain wrestling is very hard. It's about skill. It's about locking up with your fellow, wrestler. However, it there's a lot of different things you got to learn. And I'm not a very, I don't know if you could tell, I'm not a very technical wrestler. I'm kind of a ground and pound, slam them battle kind of guy. I'll chain wrestle, but I usually use it to get ahead. Everyone thinks that I want to chain wrestle, but really my mind is elsewhere. That's a tip. Remember it, Gonzo. Don't tell anybody.
I won't tell nobody. Where's
Yeah.
who uh I lost it again. I had what? Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. When you got started, when you were going to go into wrestling, did you have the support of your family, or did they kind
of? The support I did. I kind of. They wanted me to go to college and go and get a secure job and then train, but I'm like, no, I'm 19 now. If I learn now, then I will continue. And I've always learned that the earlier you learn something, the easier it just is from then on. So my mom was more supportive. My dad definitely wanted me to not do it, not do it, but he wanted me to wait before I did it, which I don't know why I would have waited. And he and I have had some spats about wrestling. He hasn't necessarily supported it full force, but at this point, I feel he's accepted that this is what I'm doing with my life.
Let's say because a lot of guys you hear where there's the same story. Maybe they had to support of one parent, or maybe not even both parents. But it seems like they usually come around after a while of it when they say, "Hey, they're going to do it no matter what."
Right. Parents need to realize that just because they I don't know, just because they birthed you does not mean that they have the full right to tell you how to live your life. They gave you that life, and it's for you to live. So don't ever even if it's your parents, you can love them all you want, but don't let them sit there and tell you what you can and can't do. And that's Josh Morris approved. I don't really get sentimental, but Gonzo, you got it out of me. You pulled it out of me, man. I got sentimental. And you tell your parents, if you want to be a pro wrestler, or you want to be a stripper, or you want to be whatever, you tell your parents, this is what I'm doing. This is my life, and you can love me, or you can leave me. Holla!
Yeah, because not everybody takes the same path in life.
Absolutely not. Some people, and that's another thing. Is like, I've been doing this for 4 years, and it feels like I've been doing it for 10. And some, James Storm, he's been wrestling for 25 years. That's not even I haven't even been wrestling a fifth for how long he's been wrestling.
Yeah, so to me, it's hard to believe that guys can last that long with the wear and tear on their body.
Well, the business has evolved in a good way, so the wear and tear it can be, as long as you get some good R&R, it should be fine. And then it's, as long as you don't do the hard drugs they did back in the 80s, you should also be fine. That also helps.
Yeah,
that also true. Partially helps. It kind of helps.
Yeah, you get back in the 80s was rough.
Real quick, I just want to peep my shirt. It's critical content. My guy Kyler Coleman and Forever Young. Forever Young was at the show. Follow them and buy their merch.
Does Josh Morris have merch?
Josh Morris is coming out with merch at the beginning of 2022. So at my February show, I will have merch available for sale.
Yeah, see, you need to make sure you bring that money. Get your Josh Morris merch in Bloomington.
February. Absolutely. I'll have t-shirts and hopefully stickers as well. And I'll even let you take a picture with me. And I won't even charge you money. What?
I can't beat that deal.
I probably should. but I'm feeling nice because I know I'm going to win the title then. So you can get a free photo with the new champion once I win it.
So we won't.
We're gonna have a line of people coming in the ring once I beat Krapke. Yeah, you see, everyone calls him Kripke. His real last name is Krapke. Okay, because he's full of crap.
Have you wrestled him in a one-on-one match?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And I have beaten him before. I have beaten Kripke, and he cannot even deny it. Okay, he's gotten lucky one other time, and that was I want to say it was November 20th of this year over at PWK. And I want to say it was Argos, Indiana. Yeah, he got really lucky. I was having an off night. Okay. Me and Dobson, man, we got lost on the way to the show. And, you know, they didn't have the correct catering in the back, and Josh Morris and Dobson weren't really having it. And unfortunately, Kripke got he got a little lucky. He happened to get his own catering, but Josh Morris is a superstar, and so I assume there's going to be catering for me when I get there. Why should I have to get it on my own?
They got you out of your game, and you couldn't get to your zone.
Exactly. How am I supposed to kick Kripke's ass when I haven't had my Nutri-Grain bar or my protein shake with oat milk? Don't use regular milk. We're not cows. We're not meant to drink regular milk. Drink oat milk because it's made from oats, and we're meant to drink oats. Or if we're going to go in that route, start selling human milk, okay? Like, it sounds weird, but, you know, we're humans, so we're supposed to drink human milk, not cow milk. And I will die on that sword.
What's the end game or goal for Josh Morris in wrestling?
Oh, Josh Morris has a lot of end game goals, and any one of them could be reached. You know, I want to wrestle on television, no matter where it's for. I want to wrestle the best competitors they have around, and one of these days, I would like to wrestle Mr. Spectacular. I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and I'm gonna be on Big Brother. So preferably before I go into Big Brother this summer, because that is also the goal, is this summer to be on CBS's hit show Big Brother and win $500,000, maybe $750,000. Depends on if they keep the price. Because this past year was the first year they did $750,000, but in the past it's been $500,000. Josh Morris has what it takes to go to the very end. And as much as I adore him, Mr. Spectacular did not, because the first time he played, he got evicted pre-jury. And then the second time he played, granted, I will also say Mr. Spectacular did get screwed in his second time. The coup d'etat is an overpowered power, I guess. And he got screwed out of that game. He could have won, but we will never know because he hasn't been a contestant. He's made appearances, and he's the current OVW national champion. And one of these days, I'd really like to scrap with him in a little bit of a Big Brother's past versus Big Brother's future.
Hey, 500.
What do you think about that, Gonzo?
Yeah, 500 grand will go a long way.
Oh yeah. That is a lot of sauce.
Oh yes, it is. And I got something I'm supposed to tell you.
Oh, what's that?
Let me. Well, he's sending me all kinds of messages.
Who is this? Is this the powers that be at MPG?
Yes. He says that. Oh, let me get back up. It went off.
Is this a long message? Is he sending you a paragraph? Is he sending you a novel?
It said that tell Josh about his match with Jesse.
My Matt. When am I? You're telling me that I might get the chance to put the smackdown on Mr. Spectacular? Is that what he's trying to say? Because if so, I welcome it. And if it's in an MPG ring, so be it. Money, power, gold, wrestling. That's all Josh Morris is.
Yeah, when do I? Oh, here it is. Josh Morris versus Jesse Gutierrez, May 7th, the MPG Wrestling.
His name is Jesse Goders, and I will look forward to it. Mr. Spectacular, I got a picture of you hanging on my fridge, and I'm going to look at it every single day until I look like that, in which conveniently I will be looking just like that May 6th. So May 7th, these biceps, they're going to be bigger than your head, and I'm going to take you down. But I'm also going to ask for your autograph because I love you.
Well, yeah, he had sent it on Facebook, and I was looking at Messenger. He just commented straight on the link.
Oh, well, that is good news. Josh Morris better start training.
What about that? You just said that you wanted to do that before the end of the year, and boom, it happens.
It happens. And he, I have a list, and I'm not going to say who else is on it, but he is number 1 on my 2022 wrestle list. Well, so.
Who would be your dream match if you could wrestle like anybody?
Mr. Spectacular. So it's gonna happen. Someone else besides Mr. Spectacular. I'd probably say Orange Cassidy. I think he and I would have a very good mesh of personality.
I think that'd be very entertaining.
So that would probably be a pretty cool match. And if I have to pick someone besides Mr. Spectacular, I will pick Orange Cassidy. Another dream match, probably the $500,000 at the end of Big Brother as well. Me and that money, match made in heaven.
What's Saucy Josh Morris going to do with all that money when he wins?
Well, Saucy Josh Morris is going to continue what he was doing before he got in the house and continue wrestling and kicking ass.
And making more money.
And probably hitting a few red carpets as well, because they love themselves some Big Brother winners. So if you win Big Brother, you might get, I might even get a spot on the Days of Our Lives or some soap opera. They love some soap operas.
They do.
Wrestling.
Do you ever perform with Dobson?
No, I haven't. But he and I are currently working on a project where Josh Morris is hopping in the booth. So keep your ears and eyes open for that. Should be popping out before Christmas.
Okay. So we're going to get a taste of that here real soon. Here in just about a week or so.
Well, ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas time. Josh Morris and G.W.R. Dobson will be sprinkling some Christmas joy and beats for all of you to listen to.
That'll be on Apple and Spotify?
Should be, yeah. At first, definitely will be dropping on YouTube, and then we'll be putting it on Spotify, Apple Music. We just got to make sure we have the rights to the beats before we put it on a major platform.
Be on your YouTube channel?
Probably the QZR Entertainment.
Okay. I'll check that one out.
So, make sure you guys are all following all of his accounts as well. Because there is no Josh Morris without G.W.R. Dobson. I will just say that because I was just a measly lifeguard before I met G.W.R. And now I am the saucy boy and one of the fastest rising stars in the Midwest of wrestling scene.
How did you get with the Dobson?
Well, I met him at my job, my actual job. I work at Dark Container. I make foam cups, and he just kind of walked into the break room one day, and he and I just hit it off. And, we started hanging out and becoming friends. He did the rap, and I'm like, well, dude, you rap, I wrestle. Want to make me a song? And he was just going to make me the song, and then I brought him along to one of my shows, and they had GLWA. They had the bright idea of bringing him on as like my manager and bringing him with me. And I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because you don't see anything like that often in the independent scene.
No, you don't. We are a completely unique act.
Oh yeah, you are. Have you had any You got any stories about some crazy fans or any crazy interactions you've had with some fans in your 4 years?
My 4 years, I got attacked by an old lady one time. That was really weird. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to handle that because I threw an elbow and then I felt very soft torso. I was very confused because I'm like, nobody I'm wrestling has a soft torso like this. So I looked back and there was an old lady who was attacking me for interfering in the match. So I ran. That's someone's grandma. I'm not going to put the smackdown on her.
I was gonna say it's
She's
hard.
got to.
Yeah, it's hard to put a
make
smack down on an old
cookies.
lady.
So, and I've had a lot of the kids don't particularly like me, but it's fine because I don't like kids either. They're annoying and they cry a lot. Like a lot. Kids cry all the time and they make weird noises and they act weird. And it's like, stop. Just stop. Stop being you.
What about the women? Do the women love you?
The women, they're indifferent to me. I have my sauce queen, so I'm not really paying attention to them in the crowd because I don't really think they like me very much either. But the feeling is mutual because they always sit there with that stupid look on their face. And I'm talking about one particular fan here. I'm sorry. And she just grinds my gears. And I want to kick her in the face, but I can't because she's a fan and not a trained professional. And so I don't care if the fans like me or they don't, because I know I'm saucy. I know what I bring to the table, and they know they're going to be entertained whether they cheer for me or boo for me.
If somebody new to the business that was just trying to get into business came for you for some advice, what advice would you give them?
Train a lot. Make sure that you know your craft and make sure that you're ready to be in a position of prominence. Make sure that you are able to do most of the things, and work on your character. A lot of people these days want to just sit there and be the big mean guy who's just kick ass and I want to and no, fall on your ass a few times. It's seriously not that hard. It's okay to be a dumbass, if that makes any sense. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's a good way of saying it. That is it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Josh Morris, 2021.
And you get a lot of guys that just get in there and just want to do you fly around and do all these moves. That's cool. But if there's no story, If there's no story to it, to me, it doesn't really, it doesn't matter.
Well, why are you doing those moves? Yeah. What is making you want to do those moves other than being in a ring and in front of people?
The psychology and storytelling in wrestling, some of it's gone away, and that's the best part of wrestling. That's when you get your best matches.
Right. We're not here to watch gymnastics. We're here to watch two people fight and why they're fighting and what they're doing to each other because of why they're fighting. Yeah. So I agree with you there, Gonzo.
You see that a lot in the independent scene where there's not as much storytelling.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But you can especially when you're someone like me, where I'm only 4 years in myself, it's not really up to me to be giving advice at this point in my career. I focus on me because I still make mistakes. Everyone still makes mistakes. So I focus on me and I let the very long veterans handle that, because you know what? I mean, if they ask me for advice, I would probably say, yeah, this sucks. You should probably work on it. But, I do see a lot of people not telling stories and just doing moves for the sake of moves, and you'll never see Josh Morris doing something like that. Josh Morris is very character driven, and I put the and some people say that I obviously put the wrestling first, but I put the story and the character parts above why I'm these flashy moves.
Yeah. And it's not just in the independent scene either. You see it even when the big companies on TV.
But wrestling is like that, where some people like that. Really, they do. Yeah. Some people like the flippy dude, no story, just show me all the crazy shit you can do. And I mean, that's their cup of tea. So I really, wrestling is very subjective. So
that's also one of the good things about wrestling too. There's something for everybody.
Really, Really, there is, and that's what makes wrestling so great. Not everyone is going to be feeling Josh Morris, for example, but I know a lot of people are. I know that because you guys don't stop messaging me. I should just make my inbox like it unattainable to you guys because you guys send me the weirdest stuff. I don't care about the TikToks you're sending me. Just because I'm on TikTok does not mean I want you to send me TikToks. Are you weird fans?
Why do you think the wrestling business gets kind of a bad rap from the public?
Because it's not real fighting. Everyone doesn't. People don't leave with broken faces and legs all the time, and people don't actually have actual injuries long term. And people don't like that. They're not really willing to accept the fact that wrestling is real and people are fake. So that's on them.
It's no different. It's no different to go to watch a movie.
Well, yeah, don't spoil Spider-Man. Don't spoil Spider-Man. Hey, it's the same thing, though.
I'm going to see Spider-Man Sunday. I haven't seen it yet
either. Well, don't tell me how it is because I probably won't be able to see it till next week. Josh Moore's got a lot of saucy projects he's working on.
Yeah, we're doing a wrestling show tomorrow in Lafayette, Indiana, and then Sunday I'm going to watch Spider-Man with my son.
I am excited for that, man, or that movie, but you just gotta wait for the right time because I also don't want to go to a movie theater full of people and they're like, look, there's Josh Morris. I'm just trying to eat my popcorn and my candy over here and watch Spider-Man. Leave me alone.
My son's 21, and probably since the time he was 4 or 5 years old, we went to every Spider-Man movies. Usually the day it came out, but he had to work and stuff, so we're gonna go, and then we're going to that wrestling show tomorrow, so we're going on Sunday. Nice. I've heard good things about it.
Oh, I've heard good things about it too, and people have been pretty good about not spoiling me. So, but there is someone on my feed says we all have 6 days before everyone starts spoiling Spider-Man, and I don't think that's enough time.
6 days?
Yeah, I'm like 6 days.
That's not enough.
No, Christmas is about to happen.
So at least wait. At least we'll wait after the first of the year.
Really, truly.
I would say the end of January because you have New Year's. You gotta give everybody at least a month.
Yeah, give them some time. Not everyone has time to just go to the movies right now. Sam, you know who you are.
Do you with your busy schedule, how hard is it to get time to train?
It's really hard. I don't get to train nearly as much as I really want to, but that's also because of there's not really. I live way up in mid Michigan, so the closest ring to me is in Coloma, and that's like an hour 45 away. So I need to make more of an effort, but it's just I only am able to get up there maybe once every 2 weeks. So I need to train more, and I know that for sure. But yeah, I work full time at making foam cups for all you weird people who like foam cups. So don't ever sit there and think whenever you're drinking out of a foam cup. Remember, Josh Morris made that.
All you coffee drinkers.
Yeah, any sort of foam drinkers.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, do you have anything else that you want to plug or talk about, or?
Well, I just like to thank the powers at MPG for allowing me to bring my sauce to the fans and the people in Southern Indiana. I want to give a shout out to Jared Kripke. Make sure you hang on to that bell against Chase Stevens because Josh Morris is coming right for it, and I'm taking you down. Then, Mr. Spectacular. It's like a match made in heaven. You and I will fight on May 7th at MPG Wrestling, so make sure you are all there. You have plenty of notice. You will not want to miss Big Brother's past meeting Big Brother's future. And make sure you follow me on social media at Saucy Josh Morris on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Josh Morris on Facebook. And check me out wherever I am. And buy my merch when it comes out.
I appreciate you joining us, man, and hopefully we can have you on again sometime. I should be at that show in Bloomington in May, so looking forward to seeing that match.
Absolutely. You hit me up, Gonzo. After the next MPG show, I owe you an interview.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. You have a great evening.
You too.
All right. I hope everybody enjoyed that conversation. I thought it was real interesting conversation. But don't forget, get going here. Don't forget tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern in Lafayette, Indiana, you have Season Beatings. BMFX Wrestling presents Season Beatings, a Christmas Carnage. Gonzo Sports Room, G.W.R. We will be there live, streaming it on YouTube and Twitch on @Gonzo Sports Room. So make sure you come check us out. Check that event out tomorrow. If you can't get to Lafayette, if you can get to Lafayette, come to Lafayette. Let's pack the place. If not, like I said, we'll be streaming it live. Come join us on YouTube and Twitch. We'll have live commentary. We'll have a good video. It'll be like our 6th show doing. We're getting better at it every time, so come join us. We're also live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. That show is live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Then we're also live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room. That's our sports talk show. We do the that show's live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Then we also do GWR Live. We usually do those interviews on Tuesday and Thursday and different times of the day. Sometimes we do them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hey, when we can book somebody, we book them. There is a new GWR podcast that'll be starting the first Sunday of 2022. Keep your eyes open. We're getting ready to post a couple big announcements on our social media here within the next day or two. But I want to thank everybody for the support. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. Go on there and get you a GWR shirt, Easy Money shirt. You can see some of them behind me. A GSR shirt back here. We have a new GWR shirt that just dropped about a week and a half ago. Go check it out. It has design on the back as well. But we will see you guys tomorrow in Lafayette, Indiana. And if not, come join us on the YouTube or on Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. If not, we will see you guys Monday morning. Have a safe weekend. Peace.